So now it's time for our favorite segment,
Asshat of the week.
So Nathan, who is our asshat this week?
Well, Michael, our asshat this week is one of our favorite asses that keep on hatting.
Oh, good, a recurring one.
Right-wing commentator Candace Owens.
Ooh, Candy.
Candy O, come on down.
Oh my gosh. So what did Candace Owens do? I just love when she's on our show because there's just something about her where she just says the most fucking absurd shit and is just so like convinced by it. She's like, she's awesome in that way. So what'd she do to get onto our show?
So, you know how we had that, you know that movement that like lasted like the in the 60s where they were trying to fight against that whole discrimination thing? You know?
Sure. Yeah. I think so. And the civil rights, something like that. Civil rights movement. Yeah.
Yeah, you know how we've had a bunch of movements since then that have been specifically trying to alleviate discrimination,
doing basic things like enabling
things.
people to like go to schools that are similar and trying to prevent banks and governments from just like confining certain racial groups to certain neighborhoods to prevent them from intermingling or growing wealth or gaining property, and then things like that, right?
Yeah. So it turns out we were wrong all along. That discrimination is actually a good thing.
No way.
And that the left, the evil left, is responsible for turning terms, such beautiful terms, such as discrimination, into a dirty word.
Whoa. I had no idea that we were doing this.
We were apparently doing that. We turned the word discrimination, which was it's a word of renowned beauty.
To be fair.
And we made it dirty.
You can discriminate in a good way. You can when you throw away rotted vegetables, you're discriminating. Although maybe that's like more discerning is probably the more applicable word. But it's possible. But something tells me that's not the kind of discrimination she's really talking about.
No, that's not.
Okay.
So she said, quote, quite frankly, I think we need to discriminate. I discriminate all the time. And she was talking about specifically in terms of hiring or befriending people. Now, here's the thing. If what she was talking about was that, discrimination in a sense of I'm friends with people whose personalities mesh with mine, and I hire people based on whether or not they can actually do the job.
Sure.
Like that would make sense.
Again, more discerning than
discrimination. Yeah. And you don't have to use the word discrimination for that.
Sure.
Like you don't have to do that. But that's not completely who she's talking about. So she specifically turned it on men that paint their nails and wear dresses.
Oh.
So she said, quote, I really don't care how you feel about it. Wear the dress, you can paint your nails, but I'd prefer you keeping 100 feet away from a playground and all the feet away from my children and me. If I see you, I'm going to cross the street with my children. Okay.
Jesus
I just want
to
point something out that I never understood. So the argument from the right seems to be that like a man, or in this case, to be a trans woman, is just a confused
or someone who, is not necessarily trans but dresses as a woman and is a man,
or someone who's non-binary, like someone who is
there's all these categories.
Someone who was born as a male, all right, someone who was born with a penis, all right. The argument is if they are transgender or non-binary, then that is just evidence of the deterioration of masculinity. That they're too feminized, that they're not aggressive enough. You just need to be more aggressive. But then the other argument is that we need to protect children because they're going to attack the children. So which is it? Are they not aggressive enough, or are they going to attack children? Like I'm genuinely curious.
Nathan, real men attack other men. Oh wait, but they don't. Wait a second, that is not it. No, I totally agree. I do not fucking understand their obsession with claiming that any identity diversion from like cisgendered presentation is automatically evidence of like perversion, and therefore all perversion is also pedophilia. Like, I just don't, there's so many like logical flaws in that whole train, but it's just fucking fear mongering. That's what it is.
She also referred to discrimination as a survival mechanism. And, she mocked the idea of being accepting of people. She said, quote, "And so when we get that feeling, my mother used to refer to it as the heebie-jeebies. When someone just gives you the heebie-jeebies, even if you can't put your finger on why, I think you need to lean into that. I actually think that society would be safer if we discriminated more."
That is so... She's like, you know what we need? More bias.
There are a lot of people that get the heebie-jeebies when they see black people. Are you saying that's a good thing? Are you saying that, like, you're making a feelings over facts argument right there?
Yeah,
you're saying it doesn't matter why you're feeling the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
It can't be because you have an implicit cultural bias that causes you to not like certain people because of their fucking pigment. All right. It's not because of that. It's you are always genuine. When you feel like there is something, like when you feel like someone gives you the heebie-jeebies and you don't know why, you are always right.
So fucked up.
That is so stupid. That was so monumentally stupid. It's
so
funny thing
what
is,
you're saying is she really did just mean the bad kind of discrimination. She was like,
she really
we should do the worst kind. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, yes, in a lot of ways, discrimination is a evolutionary survival mechanism.
Sure.
That is true. But a lot of the survival mechanisms that our minds developed, we developed during a time in which there was no civilization. All right?
Yeah, totally.
For example, anxiety. We developed that so that we could be prepared for some saber-toothed tiger that was crouching behind some bush who was about to leap out at us and maw us to death.
Yeah.
All right? We don't need that as much anymore. And a lot of people suffer from anxiety, even though evolutionarily it had a reason behind it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Do you think that maybe, just maybe, in a more civilized society, some of those old human ways, like old human feelings that we get, might not be perfectly rational anymore?
No, Nathan, no way. The evolution which they deny exists is not only true, not only important, but also the ultimate arbiter of moral fact.
Mm. And interestingly enough, evolutionary development brings us to our third segment.
Yeah, it does.
But before we get to that, let's end with a deep and hearty congratulations to Candace Owens for being our Asshat of the Week.